No, we're doing it again. No, we are doing it again. I know my West Coast people are in. If you're on the East Coast, what are you doing up? Shout out where you're from. What the heck? Shout out where you are from. Whoa. Watching me? I'm trying to go to bed, but you got me up now. Cause you know we're about to put it, we're about to go in. Nah, forget all of that bad stuff. We're awake now. You're awake. You're awake. I'm awake. I'm not going to get no sleep because of y'all. No, I'm playing. Y'all remember that? Y'all watch Bad Girls Club? Okay. Pizza Royals. What's up, Pizza Royals? What's up? Good to see y'all online today. It's like I don't know who to shout out. Hold on, I'm a text. We're ready for dating questions. What do you mean no? Pizza roll? Why does it say Pizza Royals? Pizza Roll Royals? Oh my goodness, that's a lot. I'm trying to find. Why do I not? I see you on live. What is happening here? I finally caught you. Yes, I know people from West Coast are catching me. I know people West Coast are catching me. It's late out here. Bizarro, Pizarro. When a man is cheating, is he nasty to his woman? Depends on why he's cheating. Some guys cheat because they're not getting what they want in the relationship, or they're out cheating because they want to experience something new, right? They've had the same person. So sometimes, yeah, they start treating you bad. Because here's what happens when a guy potentially successfully cheats, right? One of the main things that happens is he starts to get an ego potentially, right? Because now he's got someone else. So once he has someone else on the horizon, he starts getting a little cocky because now it's like, I got another girl, I got something else. Someone else likes me. It boosts his ego a little bit. So he'll start to pretty much act like he's better than you. Thank you for the rose, Tam Tam. So he might develop this mentality that I don't need you. I can get someone else, right? Especially if he hasn't been out there in a while and he's trying to, get reacquainted with that. So, and you can ask girls in the chat, ladies in the chat, when you were cheated on or when you found out you were cheated on, was your guy treating you differently? Because you ladies know, right? For those of you, because I'm sure there's enough cheating guys out here that I'm sure people in the chat will be able to tell you. So a lot of them are saying yes. You're getting a lot of replies from the ladies in the chat. They're saying, yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep. I couldn't prove it. Isn't that the worst? When you got a feeling that they're cheating and you can't prove it? It's like, geez, Louise. Dated a guy known for 10 years for 2 weeks. Yeah, I gave it up. Are you talking about sex? You gave it up? He was all about me, like obsessive. Sounds like a love bomber. Instant behavior change. He was all about me like obsessive. Then 2 weeks in, 35 miles per hour, we had a falling out. He said we could be friends, and now he says in due time. So he said you could be friends after you guys had sex? Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap, yo. Wrap it up. Because that's how you know. I'm surviving narcissistic abuse. Now I don't want to date. Is something wrong with me? How long? Well, how long has it been since your relationship? And have you gone to any therapy? Been there before. I have 2 kids, been with him 17 years, not married, changed his code on his phone. Why aren't you married? Do you not want to be married? That'll be my first question. Should we just assume that men who live in the gray, or just don't step up and ask you out are really not interested, right? So here's the thing. No therapy, 2 years. It's been 2 years. Yeah, I would say you probably want to see someone, right? If you feel like you want to get back out there and you survived a bad toxic relationship, then I would say the next step would be to talk to someone. I have services, so you can click the link in my bio because I am having a webinar this Sunday for free that you definitely want to see. So maybe some of that information will help you. But you probably have some fears or some things that you might need to work through in a deeper level, right? So guys who live in the gray, it doesn't always mean that they're not interested, right? They may have a different way of going about it. A lot of guys are different. They're different in the way that they move, different in the way that they act, and the way that they respond, and the way that they pursue women. Not every guy has the exact same way of approach and talk and all that stuff, right? So what you want to do is, instead of assuming, I would just concern myself with, are they doing the behaviors that I need to see, right? If there are certain behaviors that you need to see, and here's the thing, you can do this, but I wouldn't focus so much on just one person, because that could make you over expect. The problem with our mentality is that when you focus a lot on just one person and you just started dating them, you might put too much pressure on them, because if they are not moving the same way you're moving, then you might do too much, and then you might ruin that opportunity, right? So you want to take things at kind of a snail pace, right? You want to make them your friend first. You don't want to start applying all of these expectations to someone so soon, right? That could be a bit off-putting. But it's just honeymoon, then he will cheat with that girl, with another girl, and so on. My boyfriend of almost 1 year gets insecure time to time for no reason at all. And he doesn't express it right away when he feels that way, but maybe days or even weeks later. And he doesn't express it that way when he feels that way, maybe days or even weeks later. He's going to have to learn how to stop that. That's not a healthy behavior trait. Like, I used to do that too. If I felt insecure about something or I felt like upset about something, I would take forever to bring it up. And all that did was caused animosity and contention in the environment. So what I would say is he needs to figure out how to be a little bit more straightforward earlier and not take so long to finally open up about it, because that's not going to work long term, because he's just building up resentment. That means he's got problems with you that he's not talking about for weeks. That's not going to work. He's probably passive aggressive. People who hold on to things are typically a little bit more passive aggressive in the process because they don't get it out. So that's something to consider. Feedback on someone saying actions speak louder than words versus saying the words "I love you." Well, actions are the only way they can prove that they love you, because words you can't feel, right? Or words you can't touch. You can't make something out of it. It's just a word, right? Words don't really carry weight. What carries weight is the actual action behind it, the effort, what you can tie to it, right? Actual stuff, not just what they said. What time is the webinar? It's at 5 p.m. EST, but go apply on the form on my link in my bio. 16 years, 3 kids, not married, not living together. Do you want to be together? He is usually the one cheating when they get insecure because he knows what he's doing. My mom used to say he knows himself and the one cheating, okay? My first time here, and I absolutely love this. Thank you for sharing your expertise. Absolutely. I'm doing it this week because we are building up to the webinar. So I normally don't go live this much. You guys have seen me a lot on live lately. I normally don't do this because I'm usually working with amazing clients and giving them that extra time. But this week is a special week because we have the webinar coming up on Sunday, and I want to make sure that you guys are there. I'm 43, dating a 65-year-old man for the past almost 3 years, and I'm feeling like the relationship is stagnant and wondering if I'm wasting my time. Well, what is the expectation, right? If you're 43 and he's 65, like, what more do you want? I mean, like, what are you looking for? And does he share the same goals? In a relationship 13 years, some physical abuse, lots of mental and emotional, and he thinks nothing's wrong, won't communicate, and never does anything wrong. He provides while I do everything else, and I feel like I've lost myself and I don't have someone who truly supports me. You need to go to my webinar. Go ahead and click the link in the bio and sign up for the webinar. Go ahead and make that happen. Because that sounds like a lot. A person I've been with for 17 years and 2 kids still won't marry me. That's all I want. Well, they probably know that, and that's why they're not giving it to you. I met my man when I was 19. He was 36 with 4 kids from a previous marriage. I accepted his kids. What? So he had 4 kids from a previous marriage, and you had kids with him and he didn't even marry you? Yeah, that's not gonna happen because he already had 4 kids with a previous marriage and then got with you, had more kids, and it doesn't sound like marriage is his priority. Let me tell you something, when a man wants to marry you, there'll be no doubt in the game. There'll be no doubt. You know, he will make that effort happen. So, but here's the thing. Are you getting everything you need even though it's not a marriage? And I know that sounds like weird to say, but that is a thing. No, I'm not. So what are you doing here? You said that's all you want, right? So that's not all you want? Is that not the case? I have nothing in my name. How did you? It sounds like you might have gone a little bit further into this situation without getting things solidified, right? Like, why did you? What made you go this far without getting those things set? Not sure. I'm gonna make sure I'm catching all of these comments tonight. Yes, agreed. I was not thinking. I was young and dumb. Well, I mean, here's the thing. We all make our share of mistakes, but I think that right now is the time, instead of trying to, like, raise dead bones, beat a dead horse, so to speak. I think you can call it like it's just not going to work, right? Because you too far, you've gone too far, and a lot of those things would have happened already if they were meant to. That's my opinion. So it's nothing much you can do. Sending you all love. Thank you so much. You can't pour from an empty cup, and what you're feeling isn't love, then what is it? Addiction. What you're feeling is addiction. If you are pouring from an empty cup, trying to constantly get the other person to pour back, and you're losing yourself, then you have transitioned into more of an addiction or a toxic attachment. It's not love anymore. Love is mutual, and love pours back into your cup. Okay. Out here doing wifey material when just being a girlfriend. Why are you doing that? I see you too. I see you too. One of my one of my people helped them out in a marriage. I helped them out in a marriage, and she yeah, she's on live. I love helping out married couples, especially when they're successful. Let me see. That was me, always pouring and pouring, didn't pour back. Hello, Xavier. I thought you fell asleep. I did earlier. No, I did earlier. I fell asleep. I fell right asleep. I was out. Why you won't do X, Y, and Z just as a girl? Well, what is X, Y, and Z? Give me some details. Is giving a guy an ultimatum toxic? Um, Giving a guy an ultimatum toxic? Yes. Yeah. What ultimatum are you giving him? You shouldn't have to, right? He should just hear you and then know, hey, this isn't gonna work. Thank you for the heart. Um, yeah, there shouldn't be an ultimatum to begin with. The fact that you have to go to ultimatums is a sign that it's not working out. That's not working out. Y'all, you should be able to just speak to your partner and say what you need, and it should be that simple. You shouldn't have to roll up on them with an ultimatum. Because if you do that, then sometimes, well, all the time, that's a sign that it's not going well. Hello, Miss Shades. Instagram is going nuts tonight. Why are so many people on Instagram? I don't have TikTok. Can someone date while being pregnant? This is the first time I have ever had that question in my life. Here's what I think. Um, I think yeah, like you can. I mean, clearly you're gonna run into some questions, right? You're gonna run into some questions. But I don't see why you couldn't. Are you trying to date? Are you pregnant? Is it difficult for men to express feeling towards someone they like? Um, Depends on the guy, but I would say most guys nah. Booze on that. Like yeah, I haven't heard that question. I was doing research and you popped up. It's 8:30 p.m. Everyone is off work now, chilling on IG. Yeah, apparently I need to get on at this time more often. What time is it? It's 11. It's 11 here on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, we up, we outside. No, everybody's chilling at home right now, listening to me. Y'all got ASMR with Xavier. I'm not gonna do it. I seen too many TikTok profiles with the ASMR setup. By the way, like accountability. Yes, it's a good time. Really? Man, y'all gonna make me night owls. She said hello. Hi. If y'all are new, go ahead and Click the link in my bio for the free webinar this Sunday to get your bonuses, to get your stuff set up. Let's get you in. We've gotten over 100, I think 130, 140 people already, right? So we're getting close to our max. So make sure you get in, right? We're going to be doing it all week. Thank you. Absolutely. Are you pregnant though? You don't want to talk about it? I'm just curious. How far along, if you are? I think that takes some real confidence, to go out in a dating field. Like that takes confidence. Yeah. That you are a confident woman. I think that's amazing. It reminds me of that movie with J-Lo. You know that movie with J-Lo where she got on, she said bold. I'm finally done with my skin routine. What are we talking about? Talking about skin, apparently. Life is not over because you're pregnant. I met my next long-term relationship pregnant. What? Really? That's amazing. You met your long-term relationship pregnant? How far along were you when you met your person? Where did you meet them? Was it like a dating app? Like, how does that work? What are your thoughts on guys lacking accountability? On a guy lacking accountability, he's not ready to date. He shouldn't be dating. You shouldn't date a guy who lacks accountability. That's not good. Because that guy is not ready to be a boyfriend or a husband. Getting pregnant doesn't keep a man. Sad but true. Why would you would get pregnant just to keep a man? Do you believe in manifesting a partner? I believe in reticular activation. And let me explain what that is. Reticular activation is when you program your brain to focus on only what you want to see. Kind of like when you when you want a car. Let's say you want a Hyundai Sonata. Now all of a sudden you see them everywhere. When you program your brain by, writing down what you want in a partner and looking up what you want in a partner, like when you start to do that, eventually, right, you will start to only see healthy people. So I do believe that. That works. Why do you zoom in your face like that? I'm not trying to zoom in my face. I don't know why that happens. Let me sit back. See, I'm on a Canon thing. I don't zoom in. I think it does it on its own. See, I got people texting me right now. I love that. You love that? See, I practice that one. No, reticular activation, look it up. It is a real thing. It is when your mind is only focused on healthy, right? But here's the thing, you can undo the reticular activation when, let's say you're scrolling through TikTok or Instagram and all you're seeing is people fighting about, oh, well, are we going to split 50-50? Who's a man? Who's a woman? Who's a man? Roles. All of this conflict. When you start to see that happening, that can mess it up. because now you got to be careful what you talk about. It's in everything. What you talk about, what you see, what you do, what you hear, what you put out into the universe, all of this is registered into your reticular activation. So that's why I tend to avoid people now that only talk about drama. Not that I'm against them, right? I get it, but when you do that, when you just focus on drama all the time, eventually that becomes all you see. So you're like, why am I only noticing people that cause issues? Because that's all you're telling your brain. You have to talk to your brain because your subconscious is taking in all of the programming that you're instilling into it, right? Your brain is taking all of that in. So your subconscious is linked to your sympathetic nervous system. And your sympathetic nervous system is what kind of triggers you. So you're going to have to reprogram what your body and your nervous system want to be pointed to. I resonated with the video you posted. Is it that he can't communicate or is he trying to get away with stuff? Yeah. It's so true, man, because I see dudes get away with a lot by keeping their lady away from talking about things, by shaming them and saying you're insecure. It's all a tactic. Guys, is my camera zooming in for y'all? Is that happening? It might not be happening with you because you guys that are on TikTok, it's not happening. It's happening with my freaking Canon. I'm getting texted pictures of my zoom in on and off. I think I know why it does that. I know why it does that. Not tonight for you. It happened once to me 5 minutes ago. Okay, I know why it's happening. I know why. Because I'm using Ecamm, and when I use Ecamm, I put on the widescreen effect. So I think that's what's happening. I need to take it off that setting. It's good in IG. See, it's good for some of y'all and bad for some of y'all. This is my freaking nightmare. Is it just a buzzword that has become a societal norm? Are you seeing a trend of more narcissists? I think it is a buzzword. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think there are some genuine narcissists, but I think that it is becoming too much of a buzzword. I don't think that every single person is a narcissist. That has never been true for any personality disorder ever. That so many people can be this one personality disorder, right? Is this the link to click for your bio? You have to go to my bio to click it. But yeah, I do think that it's overhyped. It's overhyped. What are your suggestions on how to handle the vid about communication versus him getting away with things? Well, I'm be honest with you. I wouldn't be in a situation where I can't communicate. If I ask a person to communicate with me once, twice, and I'm calm about it, I'm delivering it with love. If I'm doing my part in trying to make this, easy and they're not helping me out, I'm gonna just quit. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the hat. Life is too short, man. I'm not gonna mess with someone that can't communicate. If you can't communicate, we don't need to be in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that can't communicate. Thank you so much, H-Town. I appreciate you. Because then what does that do for me? That's a whole bunch of unnecessary work. Thank you so much. Thank you for the bracelet. Thank you for the cheer. Appreciate you. That's a whole lot of unnecessary stuff I don't need. I feel like life is hard enough. Life is hard enough. Why do I have to be in a relationship where it's 10 times more complicated because we don't have the basic fundamentals of what we need, which is how to learn to talk about your feelings without getting enraged. Way with stuff. Well, see, here's the thing. When I said that video, there are a group of guys that are doing it to get away with stuff, right? They literally dismiss you. They don't want to talk to you. They make you feel bad because they want to get away with doing what they want, right? They don't want you to talk about your feelings. They'll literally just want to go back to normal as quick as possible. So there are a group of guys that do that. And it does leave room for them to do it. If they don't communicate with you and you just go along with it, and then you still let them in your life, yeah, you're leaving space for them to get away with it. Because now they can walk away and nothing's gonna happen. They don't have to hear about it. You're not gonna say anything. In this virtual world, where's the best place you can actually meet people outside of apps? Well, I mean, they have, country clubs. If you want to go to more upscale restaurants and maybe, to the bar, there are events. There's a lot of events. Like, for example, I go to a boxing class. I go to a runner's meetup. I do activities and I meet people with those activities. Like if you go on meetup.com or you go to look at events in your area, like look up the events happening in your area and then see what people are doing. People are always starting up something, right? A lot of people like to go outside. I'm so glad I'm listening to you. I have let him get away with too much because he is much older. Ooh, boxing class. Yeah, boxing class is nice. I highly recommend it. I'm sore every time. Every time I leave. So I highly recommend these things. Get out there, do some activities, have fun, live life. That's how you meet people. I would say you're probably going to meet the best potential relationships when you're out doing similar stuff, right? It's not just hard focused on dating. He's much younger. How do you feel about prenups? I think that they are necessary for some couples. Yeah, like if here's what I think. I'm all over the place, right? I think any type of marriage or commitment is good as long as that's what you both agree on, right? If you don't want to, get a contract and you just want to, have a ceremony, that's fine. If you want a contract and you want to go all in, I think that's fine. I think what matters is what do you need? What do you guys personally want? I think either route could be beneficial for different folks, right? I don't really have like a one way opinion on that. I think prenups might be good for a lot of people, right? I think a lot of people are working for their stuff. I don't think you'd want to have to like, split that up. But I don't know. I think prenups could be a good thing. Okay, so I've got to send your webinar to my girlfriends. Thanks for sharing your thoughts here tonight. Yeah, definitely. Put your friends on. In today's world, you're not sure what's in their heart. Yeah, that's true. Joint account if you feel so inclined. Yeah, I agree with that. 7 years younger, but we have two babies and got married 2 days ago. All the red flags, but I couldn't walk away. We're just hanging out tonight. God bless this mess. It is messy out here. Let me tell you, these relationships and dating situations. Is it possible to be friends with an ex? Or is that keeping the hope you'll get back together? Some people are friends with their exes, right? I'm sure there's some people in the chat that are friends with their exes. Some people can do it. I personally cannot do that. Now if we have children together, that's another story. But outside of having children, I personally cannot. I cannot be friends with my ex. Like, but there are some people that can be friends with their exes and it's not a big deal. But those people got to teach me something cuz when did it get so bad? social media. Social media really did a number on us, let me tell you. Social media was like, I notice when chaos comes, we get more attention. Let's just pour that in to make everyone go nuts. you know? What is happening, man? Let me see. Any advice on how to not get sucked back into a relationship with a narcissist? He is very convincing that he is heartbroken, yet showing the same behavior. Well, I mean, you have it right there. You just said he hasn't changed his behavior. What's the incentive? My friend stayed in a relationship until he put himself in prison for 5 years. She could not leave no matter how much he abused and cheated. Hey, man, that's your choice. But I mean, at some point, we gotta, that's a lot. Someone said, "Who cares if he's heartbroken?" You funny. I catch him lying and talking to other girls often. Why not just tell me it's over? Waiting for me to break up? If you caught him lying and talking to other girls, why can't you just say it's over? Why does it always have to be the other person to do it? If you seeing that the person has bad behavior, then why are you still here? You're pointing at him for the same reason you should be pointing at yourself. Like that's both of y'all are doing this at this point. See, that's the thing. If you point at someone else and say They should leave because they're doing XYZ to me and it hurts. I have two girls and a baby. So maybe my ego? I don't know. You're not my, unless you're my client. I can't answer that. But I would say that's something to consider on your side too. Bottom silk to H Town. I'm a healer. I'm drawn to people who need help. I got bad news. But most people who say that are not really healers. They're just groomers. I know that sounds crazy. I know y'all about to come at my throat, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Most people who say I'm healers and then they take people into relationships and then they try to change them and disguise it as they're healing them. No, you're a groomer. Like that's what groomers say. I want to get this person to do what I want. This person doesn't need fixing. You think they need fixing. They think they're fine. The fact that you think they need fixing that they don't think they need, that's just groomers' behavior. That's enablement, that's grooming, that's all of those things. Because my clients are texting me, man. Like they're online and they're like telling me stuff and I'm getting in trouble. I don't want to change him at all. But you say you want to fix him. Why are you fixing something that doesn't want to be that doesn't need to be fixed? The same thing. It's like the same thing. Oh, what? My freaking battery. iPad is not being nice to me tonight. Give him security. Why doesn't he have security? Is he a grown man? He can get his own security. You already heard all the ladies on social media. They'd rather be stuck in the woods with a bear than a man. He's got plenty of security. I think you're just trying to excuse yourself for being with someone that you shouldn't be with. That's the real answer that you and it's okay. Look, here's the thing. You don't have to come up with excuses and terms to be with someone that's bad to you. Just say I love this person, but they're terrible for me. Sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself. I like this person, but they are bad for me. They do bad things. And it's not healthy, but I just can't stop. You know? I think what we try to do sometimes is sometimes we try to say societal terms that sound acceptable, right? But it's a lot of it is a disguise for what's really happening, and that's okay. I think that another problem in society is that we shame people, right? We're quick to shaming behaviors so people don't feel comfortable being vulnerable. We're judgmental. We shame people. We tell them that they're wrong for wanting what they want, and just because it doesn't fit what we want. But that eliminates the potential of someone being truly honest with who they are and what they're doing. And I think that if we allowed people to be more honest without being judged, right? A lot more people would have more insightful conversations where we can add value. And they won't feel like they're trying to be judged or coerced or put down. A lot of people have felt like they didn't, like, for example, certain family members, certain friends, certain environments. They felt like they were being judged or shamed or put down, and they felt like they weren't a part of it. Like, for example, if some people, would try to get other people involved into, like, let's say religion, right? And then they would be judged for not walking a certain path, and they would be shamed really harshly and criticized by people who did the same things or did a different version of it. That's not going to allow people to feel like they can have an option to make a mistake, right? And that's not fair. That's not fair because none of us are perfect. None of us. And we're not meant to be. We're meant to constantly grow until the end of time, right? Until the end of our time. So the best we could do is just say, hey, we can lead by influence, not by judgment. We can say, hey, I've done that before. Here's what happened to me, right? Or I've seen someone do what you're doing, and this is what it normally looks like. You'd be surprised how many people will listen to you when they feel like they have a space to be heard. You'd be really shocked how many people would actually give you an ear when they feel like they're not being judged. It's like all they want to do is listen to you. And the right thing to do is give my babies a family with 2 parents. We are not fighting in front of them anymore. That's all I care about. Well, I mean, hey, if it works for you and that's the best you could do, then that's the best you could do, right? But at the end of the day, I think it's about, the buildup, the potential resentment, stuff like that, as long as that doesn't get to a fevered pitch, I think we're good. All right, y'all. Well, I think I'm going to get off live. I'm starting to get a little tired, unfortunately, but it was good seeing y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Good to see you, Kim. Y'all have a great evening. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. We will do this again. All right. Bye, everybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Make sure you click the link in my bio for the free webinar.